study habits. How do we set them for children? Right now, since most families have just one child, maximum two, parents think that it's important for them to choose to study all the time, score very high marks. Or on the other extreme, you have parents who feel that the child need not study. But right from the beginning, study is something that sets the base for all further activities. So make sure that the child has a routine where they sit down at the time that they are most effective to study. Some children are excellent early in the morning, they are able to study very well. Some children do very well in the evenings. Work with your child and see when he or she is ready to absorb information. Secondly, before you make them study, make sure that they have some kind of physical activity where they've sort of exhausted all of their stress, all of their pressure, and they're ready to sit down and work. Thirdly, make sure that it's a regular timing. Don't keep changing study habit timing based on your convenience, because what will happen is if you sit down one day in the evening, another day early in the morning, the child is also going to get confused. The third, the most important thing that you need to do as a parent is to set the right atmosphere for study. Make sure that the room is one with the least number of distractions. Secondly, make sure that your child sits down to study at a table with a chair. If you do not have those kind of facilities, they can sit on the floor on a very comfortable mat. Never let your child study on the bed, on the dining table, in the drawing room, because those are places that are normally associated with other activities. When it's study, let them have a space which will be dedicated only to study. Let them face a plain blank wall. It can be any color, but let them face a wall, because that reduces distraction. Because if they sit down facing a wall, the room or a window, they will be always curious to know what's on the other side of it. So make sure they're facing a plain blank wall. And when they sit down to study, encourage your child to rank their subjects or chapters or whatever they need to study in order of difficulty. Let them start with what is most difficult and slowly move towards what is easy and what they already know. Make sure that children do not study for 3 hours, because it's not humanly possible. Break down the study time in effective smaller units. So age plus 3 minutes would be a very, very sensible way to work with it. So if your child is 8 years old, 11 minutes would be the maximum time he or she would be able to concentrate. Use a very, very common sense kind of an approach while studying, because you tell them you have to sit down for the next 1 hour. Children will find ways to avoid that. They will keep asking for toilet breaks, keep asking to go and eat, keep asking to go and open the door because they heard the doorbell and so on. So make a very sensible timing and encourage them as they study. And the most important thing you can do as a parent is to develop independent study right from day one.